issues that you just spoke, you're not going to need to take notes on this presentation. Maybe the next few. But I am here to inspire you tonight, actually. Inspiration is part of what I do. I like to inspire people, and tonight I would really like to give some examples of how it's good to make mistakes, and how making mistakes can really make you a better person. I'm going to share with you some of the mistakes that I've made in my life. I used to work with a plumber. As you can see, I had some spacing issues going on. Spacing was not necessarily my strong suit, but it was fine because I wasn't necessarily going to be a plumber for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, spacing came back to haunt me again as I had trouble with the font spacing in this sign installation. But the boss was fully promised me that I got another chance. So I have to apologize to Megaflix. Deserve that second chance. But that's okay because you know, I went on from that to work for McDonald's. When I discovered that spelling was also not necessarily a strong suit of mine, and that would come back to haunt me as well. I remember there was a time I worked at I think it was a grocery store. Not a good speller there either, but they did. But a cool job that I did have once was I was in charge of the closed captioning for this news station, but I had a little bit of problem with the autocorrect on a story. The word evacuation was accidentally replaced with a different word. So I left that job to pursue a lifelong dream of being, you know, a tattoo artist. I remembered very quickly, that's right, I had problems with spelling before. But again, you know, I don't want to give up, so you know, I went on to try it again, and unfortunately that didn't turn out well either. Although I think kind of nothing's more extreme than the word extremality. Maybe not. So anyway, after that I was put in charge of, unfortunately, a literacy campaign. I didn't have to actually quite understand what illiteracy was, so I spent a lot of money and really solved absolutely nothing. After that, I tried to enter journalism. I was not very good at writing headlines. They were not compelling in any way. Which is okay because I really wanted to work with a record label anyway. So I worked at a record label, and this was my first album. It was a few weeks after the album was released, I realized there were actually 5 people in the gospel before. The next album I put out, I had high hopes for. It was by the Faith Tones. The album was called Jesus Used Me. They actually went home and prayed about it. It turned out that Jesus told them he didn't want to use them. He didn't feel that way about it. He took friends. But I actually had a job at my church putting up signs too, congratulating people for anniversaries and stuff like that. I tried to make it back up. I had a job at a light switch factory where I tried to create a light switch that was specifically for Christians. It turned out to be the lowest selling light switch of all time. But unfortunately it wasn't my last encounter with something that looked like a penis. I worked for Sport Beans, which was like when Jelly Belly tried to create a jelly bean for like health enthusiasts. People don't want to buy something with a penis on the logo, I suppose. Anyway, the point about mistakes is, if I didn't make mistakes, I wouldn't have been able to create the amazing products that I did create, like the Pet Petter. It's great for people who like cats but don't ever want to touch them. I also created this amazing product called the iArm to take advantage of, you know, if you don't have a lot of room and you put, you know, a plate or maybe 3 remote controls on your arm at one time. Another really successful invention that I had, that is my favorite, is the unicorn horn that I created for cats. It's 5.5 inches long. Cats love it. And when people come over to your house, they're like, "Is that a unicorn? No, it's a caticorn." It's twice as good. But my favorite is the brand of nuts I created named after my late father. That's probably my biggest success, and I hope that when you guys go leave here tonight, you'll go and buy a bag of my dad's nuts. That's it. Thank you.